All right, our second thing we're going to look at today are line graphs. Line graphs, remember, show us something changes over time. All right, so there's always going to usually be some sort of measurement of time, and you're going to kind of plot points along that time and have a big line showing you how something went up or down or stayed the same. And so now we're just going to add a layer, making these once again double or triple line graphs, where they're going to show more than one thing. They're all in the same category. So you can see on this first one we're looking at, I see that it has to have something to do with exercises. I see push-ups and sit-ups. Push-ups will be this blue line. Sit-ups will be this red line. So it's how many push-ups, how many sit-ups a person is doing. I see the numbers along the side, and I see that time along the bottom. They're counting in days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so you can kind of follow it along. So I can see with push-ups, they started with 4. Second day they did 6, then 8, then 10, then 12, then 11, then 14. So every day with push-ups, they went down. So I go to that day, I go up, I can kind of see where they are at. With sit-ups, you can see that they kind of stayed the same and they went up as well, but not as fast. So if I was on Monday, I can see Monday they did about 5 sit-ups. Tuesday, they did about 6 sit-ups. Friday, they did 7 sit-ups, and I know that by looking at the numbers on the side. Okay, double line graph. Here's another one. This one's talking about the average monthly rainfall. So on average, how much rain falls in these two different cities, and they just call them City 1 and City 2. All right, so I can see the inches on the side: 0 inch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see the time on the bottom: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. They're counting in months. And then I see these two different colored lines. Okay, so I can see in January, City 1 usually gets about 5 inches of rain, while City 2 gets a little bit over 2. Not quite to 3, but a little bit over 2. In February, they're kind of at 1.5, where our City 1 is almost at 4. All right, so you kind of do that. And instead of looking at just one data point, you're looking at 2. All right, so you can see that if I was going to draw a conclusion from this map, City 1 typically gets more, or is in a rainier spot than City 2, because there's never a month where City 1 gets less rain than City 2. Now in March, it's close, and it's kind of close throughout, but City 1 always gets more rain. Now, I also can tell that in the summer months, there gets less rain for both cities. You see that with City 1, it's kind of a big U. It drops down in those summer months, and then it goes back up in the winter. Same thing for City 2. It's at its highest point in the winter, and then it drops way down to even almost 0 in July before kind of going back up again. So we can kind of look at patterns without even knowing, without even going and looking at the actual numbers. We can still see some really good patterns here. We can also add a third line. You can honestly add as many lines as you want, but this graph is talking about the population, or how many of each of these different types of wildlife there is in a certain region. So you can see on the top, now this one's going up by 20 every time. Look at that: 0, 20, 40, 60. So you're dealing with a little bit bigger numbers. It's dealing with time. I see years on the bottom: 2017, 18, 19, 2020, 2021, 2022. So they're almost predicting ahead to what they think will happen. And now there are 3 lines. The blue one is bears, the orange one is dolphins, the gray one is whales. So we have all this information. So I can see the bears got to feel really good, right? Even if I don't know the numbers, just looking at this line, it's going up. Their numbers are going up. They're getting more and more bears in the wildlife. So if I'm looking at that blue line, I'm thinking, oh, good job, bears. If I look at the orange line, the dolphins have got to be worried, though. Look at, they must think that those dolphins, their population is going down. They started as the highest in 2017, but they're going down and down. So that tells me, hey, looking at this data, we got to do something to protect those dolphins. And whales are kind of staying in between. You can see they go down and then they go up, they go down and then they go up, they go down again. So they're kind of going up and down. But it's the same thing. If I was going to look at, hey, dolphins in 2017, I go up and I still can go over. Sometimes we don't have to be specific, but it's in between 140 and 160, so about 150, I would say. But we look and we use these to be able to see trends, be able to notice patterns, and draw conclusions. Okay, so these are double line graphs. And today you're going to get a chance to answer some questions about some double line graphs that I put out there for you. Then the last question is going to have you answer a bunch of questions because I'm going to take the data from our own 5th grade and bring it into tomorrow's lesson so we can look at some data that you actually created and draw some conclusions. All right, everyone, good luck. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.